Hey guys, welcome back. Screen looking at you for another video for Raidshadowlegends. Hope you're doing well and hopefully you're looking after yourself and have a positive start to the week wherever you are. Right, we're back on my account today. We're going to do another Faction Wars video and we're going to start doing some Faction Wars guides to stage 21 on all of them. There's a couple of that might be delayed because obviously my account is not super stacked and there is ways that I have to find things. Overall on Faction Wars, I feel like I'm doing great overall, but I've been a quite bit lazy over the last couple of weeks on Faction Wars and took some shortcuts myself. Personally, I just spent like a ton of silver. I've been able to farm 17 million silver so far today to replace a lot of the silver from the forge, which is fantastic, and a little bit from the spider as well. And hopefully you guys are looking well. We have the RSL guy. We're facing them in C at the moment. I'm leading out pretty well. Learning, I guess, leading by example to clanmates and etc. Because I want them relics. Obviously, you guys have been seeing my relics and stuff lately, and I've been getting some insane luck. So I want to keep trying to push for them. And clan vs clan, unfortunately, is one of the best ways of doing them. Anyway, let's get into today's video. We're going to be doing a champion video for CF. It's not CF. Sorry, Undead 21. Now, I'm going to be honest, my teams are not really free-to-play friendly at the moment. When I've got some more time and there's free gear or movie events and stuff, I will be putting a bit more attention into detail, trying to come up with free-to-play teams to clear stage 21 and by using accessible champions, etc. I think that will be a really big challenge and probably won't get many factions done at the moment of that. Might have to move some relics around and stuff to make that work, but that's a potential that we can do in the future. Unfortunately, I haven't got all the stars from Undead yet. I've just been too lazy, if I'm being honest. I can't even remember what these stages are. Just being really lazy with them, and we've got a video out today with this. So the teams are not really free to play friendly. I'm not going to apologize for that because I'm not really a free to play person or anything like that. I'm a low spender. So I know there's a couple of people that commented on saying that my content's not free to play friendly. Not everything has to be free to play friendly. You might be lucky enough to have the champions I've got, and there might be a couple of replacements you can also use as well. People seem to forget that if there's a safe type of mechanics going on in their kits, you can kind of just copy and paste it and downgrade and use like the budget options, shall we say. Anyway, let me go get their run. We'll talk through the run and see what's really important about the run, and then I'll tell you what's going on about the boss then. Alright then, so here we go. Let's watch this then. So we got Necrid, we have Fabian, we have Sifi, we have Rodus, and we have the Calamidas. Now I have a lot of arena champions here, so I do use a lot of arena champions for this. So you can see here that Fabian's going to go first. Sifi's being swapped out with Sifi's being swapped out with 9-piece protection to protect me from the 3%. We've also got 500 resistance on everyone except from Clamdus with the resistance aura, which was pretty nice. I didn't try to build resistance, honestly, on like Fabian and Rodus. They just end up having enough resistance with the resistance lead. Also, I use all these champions in arena, so there is high level blessings. So Sifi's been farmed up from the shop from 1 to 6. Necrid was farmed up from like 1 to 4, and then I happened to pull a 6-star, and then obviously Fabian has 1 to 5 from the event, and Rodus has 1 to 6 from the shop as well. So I'm a long-term player. I've been able to access a lot of Eternal Essence. Cloudness doesn't actually have any blessing. I did summon a 6-star a long time ago for him, and I actually sold it to gain and marry a 6-star. And then a week later, I pulled Clamidus. Clamidus is not booked. I won't be booking him for this either. I have been starting using Hydra teams as well, which is a slightly different build. So you can see there, Clamidus was kind of key to speed up the run for the waves because Clamidus just hits really hard. I think you do need an area reviver with Rodus for the waves because unfortunately it does take a while for Rodus to build up his damage without increased attack. You could also bring increased attack. I think one of the things that I found important with Faction Wars lately is just like having one CC champion kind of be able to cycle around the abilities quickly. Turn me to boost champion, increase attack and increase defense. So I decrease defense and increase attack or increase defense as well. Trying to use champions that actually self buff themselves with that type of area. Claminus does self buff himself in the first form, which is kind of useful. But again, he's in here just for the defense down. He can actually one shot the waves pretty well. I'm pretty sure I'll probably get a blessing for him again at some point, which probably won't be a 6-star, but you know, it is what it is. So you can see here we're actually really unlucky because we've got about 600, about 550 resistance, and we got CC'd by Lady Mikage. Rhodos obviously cleanses herself, that's pretty key. Then we have Faven just be able to control the waves with the lockout abilities, etc. We'll target the champion Unity because he hits really hard and he can cycle through the lockout pretty quickly because of his passive. Then I target Jingwood. After that, and pretty much after that, it's pretty much safe, and then trying to cycle my abilities now to keep my abilities ready to go. Obviously, Rhodos is a massive MVP when it comes to boss damage, so he will ramp up on the boss quite quickly. We need to do this within 200 turns. I actually 3-starred this before today, so I was able to 3-star again. I actually got a new personal best on turns, etc. this time, because I worked out with Claminus, his first form is better than his second form versus the boss, because he has block buffs, decreased attack on A1, he has decreased speed, decreased defense, and weakened ability, a bit like a Rio on the A2 on form 1. So you'll see me switch here, and then for the second form, I do like his for the waves, right? For wave base clearing. I will get the final stars at some point. For Factual Wars, I'm really not in a rush to get the mythical champion anytime soon. So it's just a case of I want to get all my bosses to stage 21. I'm really not focusing on high owls at the moment, or ogre tribes, because they're very difficult factions. So I've kind of just been skipping them because I just don't have the efforts in me right now to waste like 4 or 5 hours on them factions. I can do them, they're just difficult, right? So Watchers are also another faction that's been quite difficult, and Night Rev as well. But I do feel I will clear them. Not Night Rev, sorry. What's it called? Shadow King as well. It's been quite difficult. My ninja's got a really low level blessing. I am not buying it from the shop either. So yeah, I noticed Claminus doesn't hit so hard in his first form compared to his second form, but the utility he brings, honestly, with the decreased speed, etc., is quite amazing. So yeah, and he only needs like 70% crit rate for his form 2. I'm not too sure about form 1. I honestly never used form 1 until faction Wars, so I really don't know his kit that well. I just know it increases in attack from what I've seen. So you can see here, we're not really any stage dying. The boss will do some damage to there. I got Claminus with ally protection because Claminus is really squishy. So it's kind of one of them ones. I've noticed like destroying max HP against certain bosses is really strong. Like for example, the void one. Sorry, the purple boss is really key with that. When he has his reflection up, just doing the A1s, trying not to do damage as possible. I misclicked there. I should have done his A3 over the A2, but I wasn't paying attention so much. So it's one of them ones. What can you do? Necrid's great as well. Necrid not really needed. You can replace Necrid with UDK, to be honest, and maybe UDK is better, but this boss is AoE boss anyway. So UDK won't generally bring that much against this. He could help you against the champion Unity, and he probably will feature for me at some point with Factual Wars if I start trying making free-to-play teams, because UDK would probably be the second person on the team sheet other than Fabian actually than that. So we're getting some good damage. We'll see where his damage start ramping up soon as well. So once you hit like a certain HP, I think you could just focus on A1 and then A3 for Rhodos against the boss and not really worry about A2. I kind of was still using A2, but I feel like we capped out his passive already. So that's kind of one thing that I'd take from that as well. That could be a bit better. And yeah, just kind of seeing here, clearing up. It's not too long as a stage, really not difficult. This boss is annoying. With high resistance and block buffs and protection, there isn't really much that this boss can do against me. So yeah, it's just a case with Fabian using A3 when he has a reflection up, and then just using A1 just to drop his turn meter back, which is kind of cool. Fabian doesn't bring that much utility against the boss, unfortunately. My Rodus has got Aspect of Zero, so I doubt that this boss would be able to one-shot my Rodus with the 6-star Blessing plus the Aspect of Zero, but I don't really want to test either. He's also got damage mitigation from gemstones, which I'll probably change in the future. Because I want him on other champions for champion unity, etc. So it's kind of useful. You can see here, Necro just get a little bit close dying. You could use Elixir Gold that can help out with the healing. Or you can just try and use CF's A1 when the boss is under 50% HP, and it'll bring a little bit of heal as well. But really not too difficult. You'll see there, Rodus will just do 550k damage on A3, and it's pretty spectacular. Honestly, I don't mind mangoing the bosses too much if I can do it the first time like I did today. And as long as we get the free keys, which is kind of a nice touch. But there's two, as you see, there's 2 stages done today, and that could have been another 2 hours work, which is just not gonna happen. So yeah, honestly, this was quite one of the easiest factions for me. Probably not the easiest. I think Demon Swarm was the easiest for me, but this was a pretty standard easy one. Coming in with, like, you know, all these blessings, etc. We're getting damage mitigation plus damage increase from the blessings. Unfortunately, not all of these, most of these are free to play blessings, but most people look at this and kind of judge it as Kraken level. I've spent a lot of money, etc. So it's kind of just one of the ones. We've been playing a long time. You get these. To remove too much gear for this, so I was trying to use one of the filters, trying to get smarter with the filters basically. Okay, so let's start with CFs. CFs in 9-piece protection. You can see here we're just trying to make it tanky as possible, so we've got high HP, high defense. Then we go ahead and put on the faction wars bonuses as well. Speed coming in at 330, resistance coming in with like 600, and something with the A1 with the passive with the aura as well. So you can see here I do have a max out Great Hall. She does have a relic as well with the resistance, if you guys didn't notice. If it wasn't for the relic, I probably wouldn't have enough resistance. I probably would just have enough resistance, because Dim Presence also would increase my resistance as well. So even without the relic, I can pretty much do that. It's a pretty nice build, honestly. There's the gears. So the relic is not really needed, so please don't look at the relic and be like, oh, I don't have Volcanic Heart. This is just for arena. so there's no need to overreact there. There's like a ton of relics that'd be really good on her. As you can see here, I've got like a ton of relics ready to go. One of submissive would be fine. Aspect Seroth, you don't even need to run a relic on CF, honestly. You got damage mitigation here as well, which is kind of useful. Obviously, Team Presence was that. You could also go. I'd say Team Presence, honestly, is probably the best way to CF to increase the resistance. You probably don't need to build resistance, but it's just nice. Polymorph can be good against the waves or against ads as you're climbing up as well, but honestly, there isn't really anything here where I'd say take this for Faction Wars. I feel like most people would use as Arena Champion. These are the masteries that we're showcasing for today. Again, just pretty standard masteries as well. Mostly used, and why is UDK there? I haven't used UDK. Okay, some shenanigans going on here. So then let's have a look at Clamidus. So Clamidus is built really fast. I build him for 8% critical rate for Form 2. Then I get him fast, so I'm trying to get like all my debuffers, like defense down and stuff, around about 300 speed. Damage is a bonus. You need to aim for about 475 accuracy. Attack is a bonus, and again, try and pump up that HP as possible. I actually put a relic on him just for extra HP because I was kind of struggling to keep him alive the first time I faced the boss. So we just went with this relic here. Again, as you can see here, no books needed or required. Again, he's not actually required for the boss at all. So, you know, don't look at this and think, oh, it's mythical. Obviously, if I have a mythical, I'm going to run a mythical. Again, I'm not free to play, so there is no reason for me to try and be a show-off. So you can see here, we've got good resistance again. That's just a bonus. I think good speed, HP, and defense is a bonus. For Necrid, again, Necrid are really not needed for this. I do swap on a resistance banner just to kind of help out with the resistance a little bit. The relic is kind of useful, but I will be removing this relic at some point and replacing it with Aspect Seroth. Max HP, Life Harvest is mainly for Arena, but so there's definitely better blessings there. So Cruelty, or I guess Cruelty would be the best way to go, or even Brimstone if you got a 5 or 6 that didn't require accuracy. So it's a 6-star doesn't require accuracy. The 5-star does require accuracy. Again, masteries for Arena, they're really old masteries, so you can still see I've got a free reset. They're about 2 years old masteries. I haven't changed them. I still run them in bolster. I kind of use them time to time, but mainly for like classic or free Westfield or Siege. Then these are Mr. Rhodus. Mr. Rhodus is Mrs. Rhodus. Mr. Rhodus is used in Arena. As you can see here, the resistance is just a bonus, honestly. Not trying to build it. I'm not going to suggest to build it. It's really not needed. You self-cleanse anyway. It's just kind of cool to see, I guess, with the passive. Sorry, with the aura. Critical damage coming in at 352, which is important. The critical rate as well is important. The speed, the attack, and resist and HP, again, important. Some defense is kind of nice, but it's a bonus addition. As you can see here, we're running Relic, so you guys will probably know what we're running. I run them in 6-piece Merciless for Arena and double-piece Reaction. Then we have Aspect Seroth, obviously, which is really, really good. Then we have some damage mitigations, again, really just for Arena. Really kind of useful overall. Then I guess then we have for the Blessing, I would go for the Fall of Wrath. I think the Fall of Wrath on Rhodus is just crazy, crazy strong with its passive. And then these are the masteries coming in as well with the shenanigans here as well. And then we have Mr. Fabian as well coming in with this as well. Then you have obviously Tim Presence because of that. Again, Stagnators useful but not required. It's just really good to help against the waves because he does seem to weaken a lot. I would probably go Stone Skin on him for the waves, but mine's in Sonic set, so I have him in this build for Arena. And these are the stats that we're running behind my big fat head as well. So yeah, not too hard to kind of copy, I guess. You know, this is in-game gear, like this is super in-game. I've been in-game for the last 2 or 3 years, so well, probably more than that, to be honest, like 3.5 years, 4 years I've been in-game, so I've been always able to complete all the content in the game. I was one of the first content creators. I was able to clear CC, Curse City, and I was also like probably one of the few that got Carnage first. I think Blazing and a different content creator got got Carnage around about the same time as me. So I'm well known for PvP, but I also do really try hard in PvE. I guess with so much going on in the game with like coalition events, etc., and there was a video I dropped yesterday about burnout and raids warning, which I'll ping at the end of this, that the burnout was real, and I'm just taking some time away. Obviously, I'm still making videos. I feel like this was a good time to make a video today. We're making some more videos on Faction Wars. I will probably drop them in 2 videos to get. I feel like I will drop 2 factions in 1 video, or maybe I'll make them separately depending how I feel. But I don't want to be dropping like 3 or 4 videos a day on YouTube, and I still want to be returning back to live arena tomorrow. So it kind of depends on the schedules. I think 2 videos a day is a max, and we can use timestamps and stuff down, etc. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Also, I'm kind of interested in like with like the weak hits and all the difficult events that's going on, like all the different cool trials. Are you guys interested in these type of videos as well, with like weak hits on undead and other factions as well, where it's quite difficult not to kill people with that? And I guess if we was to do something like that, we'd have to move relics. So what would there be suggestions for relics as well? Maybe keeping to Chimera group, and keeping it to the Chimera group, I guess, would be a good one, or the standard group as well. Anyway, let me know down in the comments. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and hopefully you're having a really solid day in the Faction Wars. Anyway, I've been Grim. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.